we announced the formation initial momentum for the Vancouver Island Manufacturing Efficiency Alliance about a week ago, 10 days ago, and it has garnered phenomenal interest. And thanks to both Ray and Anders for starting this. It's amazing. There is a ton of interest. And I thought today's video would be that bridge between interest and what actually is it? And what might it be if you decide to join? So Anders, you're have some experience with this in Ontario. There is a template that you are hoping to duplicate. And then perhaps Ray, as the is actually a leading manufacturer representative and owner on the island, might talk about what that means to a owner or a manufacturer. So, Anders, go ahead. Tell us what you think this should look like.
Well, let me go back. This is what 30 years or so ago. I think we all know, at one point suddenly the Asian automotive manufacturers became more prominent in North America. In Ontario, we saw interest from Honda and Toyota to locate factories in Ontario and to participate in what was then called the Auto Pact, the U.S.-Canada Auto Pact, and you needed 50% local content in order to be allowed to ship duty-free across the border either way. And the Ontario government had a number of initiatives to assist the local automotive community to participate in this. And one of them was the promotion of consortia. So the idea was a consortium is a group of companies that learn from each other. They try things out. They all have individual cultures. They all have individual customers and so forth. But there's a common way to deal with these new manufacturers coming into the province. And essentially, we've come to call it lean manufacturing. This is the Toyota system, the Japanese system, whatever you might want to call it. But people needed to learn that. And the consortium was the preferred way to do this. So you joined up, you did some joint projects, you did some joint training, and you learned what worked and what didn't work. And that's really the basis of this. Experiment your way to a better way to manufacture. And obviously the established big three were under threat. They took on some aspects of lean. So it became very common to have some of these processes. So everybody was learning. And the smart companies joined a consortium. I was part of setting up the High Performance Manufacturing Consortium, which is still running and still training people. Thousands and thousands of people have gone through their training. The membership has expanded and contracted as various threats have come onto the horizon. Right now, we're in I think an ideal time to form a consortium, which is what we're trying to do. Let's get together, let's learn together, let's figure out what's going to work for us. We're not trying to get, to become a customer of Honda necessarily, but we're trying to figure out how do we work in a whole new trading environment where things are not clear anymore, and you really need to look after yourself.
Okay.
And that's the basis for the consortium.
That's outstanding. What a great template. Congratulations. So increased efficiency amongst and increased process efficiency, learning about how to improve your company's operations, and the premise being that you do it potentially, obviously you're going to do it internally. You have to these days, but we're also going to share experiences. Thank you. That's a great template.
And maybe we should add, this is, you start out with the low cost, no cost type of improvements. This is not about spending money and putting robots in AI and all that kind of stuff. That can come later. Let's get the basics in
Okay.
place. Improvement culture. Let's call it that.
Okay, that's great. So I'm gonna play the proverbial uh, employer that the both of you, the three of us, would be approaching, saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, would you like to be involved with this?" Okay, so I'm the person now who's got this email, and I go, "Well, what's going on here?" Now I know. Anders, I'd watched this video. Now I know. But the second part is actually logistically, what does that mean? Do I go somewhere? Do I do something? What does my company have to do to benefit from this learning and sharing of experiences? Ray, I'll be putting you on the spot and
Mhm.
saying to you, what would that mean?
Oh, not putting me on the spot at all. I think this is
Okay.
what we need to do. So what a prospective, company that's interested in learning more about this should understand is that we'll create a neutral environment where, you got to be comfortable with somebody coming into your company and critiquing what it is you're doing. So that could be a very positive thing if it's taken that way. So facilitating peer-to-peer learning and knowledge exchange is one of the tenets of this organization. And then learning to identify and implement best practices in lean manufacturing. And that's a big topic, right? As Anders said, a lot of these things are very low-hanging fruit, easy to do, and they don't cost a lot of money. They just require some commitment. And then what this does is if you get a group of companies working together, it fosters collaboration on joint business opportunities. So you can have opportunities that you never would have if you weren't in this collective. And then advocating for regional manufacturing growth and workforce development is something that we can garner once we have core of industry, an industry-led organization. Once it gets big enough, then we can start to get support from government and from academia. So I think that answers your question.
Oh, very much so. A couple of other questions from me, the person who's received the email request. Is there a cost to join this organization?
Hmm.
Nothing up, nothing upfront.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
We'll
Okay.
figure out, if anything is going to cost anything. Mostly the cost is in your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got to devote yourself. You've got to be committed,
Yes.
and bring your people along.
Yeah.
Very
And
important.
I think
Yeah.
it's worth saying that this is not a short-term activity.
No,
That in
that's
fact, it's now clear that the politics of recent times has completely shifted the way that Canada should do business. Our politicians are telling us that. Individually, each company owner is saying that internally, and now we're saying it as a sector. If we are to improve, if we are to become competitive, if we are wanting to consider ourselves the best in the world, we have to work together. And this
Yeah.
is a vehicle, correct?
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think this is really helpful.
Hmm.
We'll come up with more videos as we discuss with more companies what and questions they ask. We'll post them up for everyone to see. Meanwhile, look forward to getting an email invite from us very soon in your inbox.